Right. Cynthia.
Tracy.
Kevin. Shaq.
Jeff from Kansas once visited this beach called Foley Beach in South Carolina in a warm October. He visited there wearing the usual tourist attire with the beach's name on his shirt and hat. The locals didn't seem to mind or even bat an eye at him. They just gave him a friendly nod or a smile. Even when he got lost, he went to a local creamery to tell him to ask for directions and everything, and they gave it to him with even a free ice cream cone for his worries and stuff. As soon as he walked out on the beach, feeling the warm sand underneath his feet, he felt more relaxed than ever. Even when the wind blew and knocked off his ice cream cone, he still felt relaxed. He went on with his day without worry or being mad or stressful or anything like that. Later on, he went down the sidewalk and he walked around, saw the street lights, saw the smiles, all the locals talking with each other, and then he went into a local burger joint. He chatted with the locals, talked with them. They gave him some recommendations on what to do, where to go when he was visiting there. And then later on, he felt more relaxed than ever. And then as soon as he went back to Kansas, he realized how it dulled in comparison to this beach. He didn't understand why until he noticed the less smiles he saw and how less talkative they can be. The one thing he talked about was the generosity he saw at the beach. I've heard many stories about the beach and saw many things, but all of the stories that I've heard have the same similarity, the generosity found there. Today I'll be talking to you about how beach locals are more generous than others. I'll be using research points, I'll be using my personal examples, and much more to talk about it. I believe that beach locals are more generous than others due to their community lifestyle, their personal and environments, and also their cultures. With their lifestyles, they focus on not just themselves but the people around them. So imagine if they got into a storm or something, they're asking and offering help to others around them. They're not just focusing on themselves or only their household. Maybe they need daily needs. Maybe you need a cup of sugar or whatever the case might be. Maybe you have a beach towel that one of your neighbors needs. They offer and give and get in return. It's not just about being by yourself. It's about being in a community with other people and sharing the lifestyle that y'all have. The second topic, now that I've talked about the community lifestyle, I'll be talking about the environments that create a bit of peace that they go through. There have been many studies about how their environment really shapes them into being gracious and having gratitude for where they're at. The waves can create a soothing, calming white noise for their mind to settle their anxieties and everything like that. Along with walking by the sand, you can see and feel grounded if you walk by, and you can really look around and have greatness for what you're seeing and all that. And then another thing is the sun. A lot of sun, anytime, even during the summer, you feel more happy. It's because of the vitamin D that the scientists say give yourself. And then the last thing is the cultures. Now I've talked about all the environments and the community itself, lifestyle. I'll be talking about the cultures. You have restaurants, festivals, annual events that everyone participates in. It's to help your community and bring in more tourists and bring attention to maybe your local restaurants and stuff like that. For restaurants, maybe you want to sponsor a certain event or something, not to only bring tourists in, but to give to what event you're doing. Maybe it's a local surf event. Maybe you want to raise awareness for something, so you'll have an event for that. And the local restaurants will sponsor it with food and stuff. Maybe later on, some tourists come by and that ends up being their favorite restaurant ever because they got free food one time from this event, or whatever the case might be. And then you can have events and festivals to raise awareness for whatever you need. A lot of hurricanes and bad weather happen at beaches and stuff, so they like to have a lot of events and festivals to maintain that connection that all the community goes through. So it really helps tie the community together a lot. Today, I hope I persuaded you all to see how beaches really help show their generosity with each other more than other places might do. Even if it doesn't, that's okay. Maybe you might think that this is too far, you just don't understand it at all, or whatever the case might be. But I hope you do. Whenever you go by to the beach or you see something, maybe you look around and maybe you'll see and feel those like sensations I talked about. Maybe you'll see the people's smiles, feel the sand underneath your feet, feel more grounded and generous for what you have. And then remember that story I told you about Jeff? Well, he's actually my uncle. And yeah, he told me the story, and ever since then I go to beaches now and I see like all the differences it is compared to the city and then to the beach. And even he got a free sweatshirt for Charleston. And it really just shows the gratitude that they go to and stuff like that. So I hope I persuaded you all.
Oh.